Well, hello everybody, and thanks for joining me today as we review the 2018 Audi Q5. Now, we're going to review the Q5 on 6 different points today, which include the powertrain, handling, and suspension, styling, comfort, and interior quality, tech features, and lastly, the sound system. And of course, at the very end, I will give you my verdict on the vehicle as a whole. Of course, my ratings are based off of how the vehicle compares to other vehicles in its class at similar price points. With that said, the Q5 starts off at essentially $43,000, while its main competitors such as the BMW X3, Mercedes-Benz GLC start out at a few $1,000s less. However, Quattro all-wheel drive is standard on the Q5, while it's an option on the X3 and GLC. Now, once you option those features on those two models, you're at around the same price point as the Q5. Now, it's also worth mentioning the Q5, for those of you who don't know, is a 5-passenger premium compact crossover, and it's one of Audi's best-selling vehicles. Now, when it comes to the powertrain, I couldn't be more in love with this setup than I am. It's really quite perfect, and I don't say that often. It has a potent 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, which cranks out 252 horsepower at 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs and 273 pound-feet of torque, which comes in at just 1,600 RPMs, giving this 4,000-pound vehicle a 0 to 60 time of just 5.9 seconds. Now, when it comes to the EPA numbers, we're going to be looking at about 23 city and 27 highway. Although on a short little day trip I had the cruise at 70 miles per hour, and I got 30 to 31 miles to go on the highway all day long. Now, what really makes this package complete, though, is its stunning, and I mean absolutely stunning, 7-speed S-tronic transmission. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does S-tronic mean? Well, good news, people. I have an answer for you. An S-tronic is a dual-clutch automatic in which one of the two clutches engages the odd number of gears in reverse, the other engages the even number of gears, and the benefit, of course, is a gearbox that shifts from one gear to the next in less than 0.2 seconds. So basically, faster than you can blink your eyes shifting, and with no interruption in power flow. It's really fantastic. When in operation, one gear is always engaged and the other is pre-selected. When the first clutch is transmitting power into one gear, the second clutch has the next gear selected and ready to engage when the gear shift point is reached. And of course, one clutch segment opens and the other closes, and it happens in a flash. You can hardly notice the gear shift process, and it's so incredible, it leads to an outstanding driving experience, not to mention increased efficiency. Now, ending on that high note, the Q5 gets a 5 out of 5 in powertrain due to its just incredible driving experience combined with the amount of power, the good fuel economy, and this incredible S-tronic transmission. Also contributing to its near perfect driving experience would be how well it handles on the road. And that is thanks to a 5-link front independent link and a 5-link rear independent suspension as well. Plus, it has adaptive dampening suspension, which dynamically adjusts in this various selected drive modes. Now, this all equates to a very comfortable yet sporty driving experience, and I can't get enough of driving this little guy. It shouldn't be fun to drive, but it really is. It's like defying the laws of driving dynamics. I mean, who would have thought 35 years ago there'd be an SUV, or even car for that matter, which drives this good? Well, not me. Well, especially since I wasn't even born 35 years ago, but yet still. It just eats up the curves and sweeps across the freeway effortlessly. It really just makes a real pleasure out of driving. Once again, the Q5 gets a 5 out of 5 for handling and suspension. Now, when it comes to styling, Audi is the poster child for daytime running lights, and the Q5 has some pretty neat ones. I look at light design as sort of the signature for vehicles, and Audi truly understands that, and as each vehicle in their lineup has a different daytime LED design distinctive to that model. Now, it's just the signature of each car, right, based on those daytime LED running lights. Now, looking at the Q5 from a front quarter view, you'll see just how crisp and detailed those LEDs really are. And they set up the styling for the rest of the car with a coupe-like roofline, and a strong wave-like shoulders, and a calming egg-shaped rear curvature. Now, the rear lights are also quite fun to look at as the blinkers are on. The bottom LED turns into a sliding red light to signify you're turning. A neat little touch for sure. Sometimes I even find myself just turning it on, and I just go stand and look at it and be like, ooh, that's cool. The Q5, as you can see, really does have that modern design touch, which is a real Audi thing, very modern in how they approach design. And it manages to stay rather subtle, yet eye-catching. Now, personally, I think the Q5 looks very good. It's fresh. It's like waking up on a spring morning after it rains with the sun out, and it's just very relaxing and nice modern side of things, right? It's more on the basic design spectrum, won't really offend anybody. Now, some could say they're being a little bit conservative with the Q5, but I think the next redesigns, they will spice things up a bit, considering the new Q8 looks like something out of Star Trek. Now, naturally, design is relative, and what looks good varies from person to person, but I give the Q5 a solid 4.0 out of styling. It lacks that wow factor that maybe the new BMW X3 has on people. Now, when it comes to comfort and interior quality, Audi has been known to have a very high standard when it comes to this, and the Q5 is no different. Just pulling door handles come up towards you from the exterior as you get into the vehicle will leave you with a sense of quality. But just put your hands on a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and you'll think your hands have died and went to heaven. How can it be so soft? I think to myself. But one never knows, but whoever is providing Audi with their steering wheel leather should get an award. From an interior design perspective, the Q5 takes a minimalistic design perspective with lots of open space. It's really quite beautiful. Simple controls wrapped in metal, of course, and ergonomic layout. All the button placements make sense. And some even have dual uses, like the volume knob, which can also switch tracks as well by sliding it to the left and right. The seats are firm but very supportive, and often I feel vehicle seats are too soft and lead to muscle aches over long periods of driving, whereas the firmer seats, like in the Q5, offer greater level of support. And they're very comfortable and better for long hauls. There's an optional thigh support, which is manually operated here. And all things considered, I give the Q5 a 4 out of 5 in interior quality and comfort. There are just a few reasons why it doesn't get a full 5 stars. And I'm really being nitpicky at this point, but the seat controls on the side are plastic buttons. The door pull, which is not the interior door handle, feels like it's a little bit of a Jetta, which isn't bad whatsoever, but still others in the segment do a little bit more to make the experience more luxurious. But it's still a fantastic interior overall, and it's well deserving of much praise. And when it comes to tech features, things really get interesting here, as the Q5 is loaded to the max with screens, buttons, levers, knobs, and just all sorts of things. Now, I've driven many vehicles with the digital display, but it's more like a 12.3-inch computer, as its 60 frames per second quad processor show a multitude of information, right? So from a full screen perspective, you can do maps, navigation, or you can choose to do the incredibly crisp gauge display with mapping in the middle. It's a truly world-class display. Just can't get over how good it really is, from the coloring to the amount of information you can access. It's simply outstanding. And that's why I think of it more as a tablet than an actual gauge display. Moving across the dashboard, we find the multimedia screen, which is controlled via the Audi dial and touchpad. The display itself is, of course, incredibly crisp and clear, plus easy to use. There are a lot of different menus and options in which one would only expect to find in a German car. For example, there's a menu for the Bluetooth input level volume. We don't need that, but then again, now that we have it, can we live without it? I don't know. We can also get weather, traffic updates through its 4G connection, although it's becoming pretty standard. The blind spot detection system works particularly well with sensing other vehicles. I like how they have integrated the alerts into the side of the mirror housing and not in the actual mirror itself, giving you less obstructed view. Now, when it comes to safety, it has Audi's Pre-Sense, which is a standard feature and has some pretty cool things which it can do. At speeds of up to 52 miles per hour, the system can scan the road for other vehicles and pedestrians using a windshield-mounted front camera with a range of up to 328 feet. And if there's a threat of collision, the driver will get a warning and a series of warnings. And if necessary, the car will actually stop fully for you. Now, at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour, it can fully prevent accidents within the system. So that's pretty fantastic. If you can have a technology save you from an accident, that's quite fantastic. Now, at higher speeds of up to 52 miles per hour, it will just reduce the severity of the impact. So that's obviously good. It can be the difference between just a broken rib or a bruised rib. Obviously, I'm going to have a lot of these safety features, and it's nice, of course, that's standard. It's a very important aspect. Now, what sets the Audi apart from other manufacturers in the technology sector is just how well they have engineered and integrated all of these technology features, from the incredible gauge screen to the advanced safety features. And let's not forget the distance-guided cruise control, which has stop-start technology. Having used the system, I can tell you that it's very smooth, unlike some of the other systems out there, which can be somewhat jerky and honestly a little bit scary. Taking all of the safety tech and interior features, we give the Q5 a 5 out of 5. Easily proves itself to be a class leader when it comes to interior and safety technology. Now, I'm a sound fanatic, and when it comes to this amazing sound system in the Q5, it just blows my mind away. It's an available 19-speaker, 755-watt Bang and Olufsen sound system, and it's really just, it's out of this world. It's truly encapsulating sound experience. It's a 3D sound technology. I mean, I find myself just sitting in the car so I can listen to all of my favorite songs again and again and again, and it really does sound like you're sitting in the middle of the band playing. It's just incredible. You have to experience it for yourself sometime. Plus, there are many different customizable options to adjust the sound. You can change the 3D effect from moderate high to low, and the subwoofer intensity, among many other options. Again, the sound system is just music to your ears. Not to sound so cliche, but it really just is something that you must experience to just understand how incredible and good it really is. And it's one of the best sound systems out there for sure. Hands down, easily achievable 5 out of 5. And overall, the Q5 is an outstanding vehicle in this segment, which provides drivers the latest technology, well as safety, fun tech, like the Virtual Cockpit, which I rave so much about here. Combining that with its superb build quality and fun driving dynamics, it'd be hard-pressed to find another SUV which lives up to this standard. Now, I suggest getting the Prestige trim, which carries a $54,000 price tag, which is actually a pretty good deal considering you get the 12.3-inch Virtual Cockpit display, you get the navigation, you get the 19-speaker Bang & Olufsen audio system, heads-up display, and a host of other desirable features. Now, the Q5 easily gets a 4.5 out of 5 for overall as a verdict. And that's only because there are a few other models in this segment, like the new BMW X3 that has just recently come out, and it has a few cool features as well that may edge out this one just a tiny bit, but when it comes down to it, it's really just up to the individual discretion. I mean, they're all incredible vehicles. Thanks for watching today, and I hope that everyone has enjoyed my review of the 2018 Audi Q5.